Esiet sveicināti jaunajā pārraidē raidījumā Futbola prāts. Ar jums kopā es, raidījuma vadītājs Artūrs Biedzais. Šodien mums būs interesanta tāda tēma – aizsardzības prasmes. Un pie mums viesos šodien ir mūsu izlases treneris Massimo Paganīns.
Hi Artūrs. Hello everybody.
Thanks to having you here.
No, thank you to host me. Thank you very much.
Today we will speak about a very interesting topic, and as you as a top defender, yes, playing in top level, as a defending skills of defending principles, because usually for me seems that we sometimes used to coach a lot offensive and then attacking some principles and finishing, and sometimes forget about the defending. And for me, they are always equal, they are always together. And this topic is really, really important for developing the football. In one word, and maybe later you could explain in one word, what's the most important in defending?
Consistency.
Consistency.
Yeah, it's really important, because you don't have to play, a match. Sometimes defender play a very good match as a 7.5 if you have to put a score, and then the next match is 5. They are not remaining the same consistency. Defender have just to defend, but now in modern football it's changed a lot, because when I used to play football, we didn't have the chance now to play as a forward, because now defender usually to play as a forward too. I think this is some kind of things. They lose the attitude to defend really well, and because they are concentrating all the other aspects, in football, how to build up, because now all the players that play behind as defender, they know how to build up. They have a very good feet, very good skills. They know how to play football. It's completely different when I play football. If we turn back and we go back in 20 years more or less, it's changed completely. So I understand, but also, as a goalkeeper, for me, goalkeeper now you use the goalkeeper because he's good with the feet. But for me, the goalkeeper has to save first, and then he can, pass the ball and use well his feet. For the defender, it's the same thing. First things, you have to defend well, and then all the other things will come. But for first, is the kind of things that I think that we miss a little bit, because we are concentrate, as you said, well, in more in offensive phase than that in defensive phase. That is really, really good for football, because I think that football must be a show, and so the people will come to the stadium just to score a goal, not just to defend. In Italy, where I come from, we are really, really good when we have to defend. We are very good in tactics. In tactics, maybe not so well when we have to produce a good show on the pitch, because sometimes I can understand that from people outside is just a little bit boring to come and see a match that is very tactics. Okay, it's fantastic for the coach, but from the people outside, it's not so good.
You already answered my. I had a prepared question, like
okay,
sorry. No, it's fantastic.
I'm going too far. Yes,
yeah,
sorry.
No, it's good. This is, I think, most important for defender. Anticipate. So you anticipated my questions already, and this is what I wanted to ask. Like, how did the profile change since, like I don't know, 20 years ago, or 10 years ago, and what's the profile of defender is nowadays? And you.
Now they change a lot. We were very good 1-to-1 when we have to 20 years ago, and we were just concentrate on the defending. That's why we were maybe so concentrate. Now they're losing the concentration, because they have to do a lot of things. If I think about the top level team, all the defenders are also good when they have to attack, because now football is a positioning football. It means you have to play in the role where you are in that moment. If I have to compare, because in Italy, Inter did very well these kind of things in the last few years. So it means that sometimes Bastoni or Di Marco, or on the other side, there is Bissek and Dumfries. They are in the front position, very close to the two forwards. So in that moment, you have to play like a forward, not like a defender. So that's why it's really important for them to understand where they are on the pitch and what they have to do. And sometimes maybe you lose your concentration, you don't know exactly where you are, and you are not defending very well. you're not defending very well. Indeed, they conceded sometimes, they actually defend a very easy goal sometimes because they lose their position. It's happened, it's changed football, and we have to take care about them. It's not because they are bad defender, but because they have to do a lot of things into the pitch, and sometimes you lose your concentration. That is the only thing that I thinking about this.
And how in nowadays, I don't know, maybe for me, but like in the past, it seems that when I imagine like two center backs in the past, for me mostly both were like big, more like power, high balls they play. How nowadays this combination between center backs, did it change?
Yes, not physically, because now not just the defender, but all the players are structure is completely different than when we were 20 years ago, more or less, 15 years ago, maybe more, and they are very good athletes. Indeed, the speed of football increase between 22, 25 to 30% more than when I play football. So it means that in 20 years, the speed is increased a lot. So the speed and the physicality, it's very demanding now in football. If you are not an athlete, you can't play football. We're starting from there. After that, you can be very good in techniques and very good in tactics, yes, but for first you must be an athlete, because at that speed you can't, you can't play if not. The average of speed now is 22, 23, 25%. They have a peak of 36, 37. Some players, so it means that they are close to they can play. They can run 100 meters. So they are really, really fast, and that's why they have as a defender, you have to think very fast. This is very important to anticipate what the opponent, and there is a way of think. It means that you have to understand exactly where the ball is going. So you have to understand perfectly how football it works. When the ball is start from the build up from the back, you have to immediately understand where you are, where is your teammates, where are the opponent, and how to move into the pitch, how to anticipate eventually the movement or what the play of the opponent. So that's really important for a defender. Always understand where is he, and always understand what he can do to anticipate the opponent. So that's really important.
For me, like yes, we have like attacking skills, and
yes,
we have defending skills, and what we wrote under is the most important is anticipation. Anticipate the game, win the game. We wrote here in Latvian, and for me it always seemed working with defenders, anticipation as a most important skill, because usually like defenders are a little bit, especially central, a little bit slower than maybe the striker in some situations. But if you have good game anticipation, you read the situations and you already make like movements a little bit earlier, so you are winning the game. How from where comes this anticipation for defenders? Like how to coach it, how to teach it, how to...
You have to do it every day, especially during the training session. So this is really important to teach them and learn, and teach them, and they have to learn. As I said to you, players. I told you a lot of times, players that start the match must be different than the players that finish the match. So it is in the training session. They have to learn during the training session. Okay, you have to force them during the exercise to do something. You can do exercise for the defensive phase, and they have to understand how to move into the pitch, and when they can try to anticipate, when they have to stay, when they have to move in a certain way, when they have to read. So it's really important also the speed. So it's not just the exercise, but it's the speed of exercise and the opponent that is on the other side that will make the difference. If you have a training session with me and you, is something. If you have a training session with Messi and Neymar, is something different, or Mbappe, because you have also as a defender understand as soon as you can the quality of your opponent. Now is easier than when I play football, because now you can have on telephone whatever you want. You can see a video, you can prepare with your match analyst. But we didn't have a match analyst. Now they have match analyst. More or less all the teams have a match analyst, so they can see the quality of the opponent. So they know if not just if he's left or right, but if he can run, where he prefer to attack the near post, the second post, the middle. He prefer to receive the ball on the right side, on the left side. He defend the ball, he attack the space. There are a lot of things that you have to learn and understand as a defender, and you have to take care about that before the game. And during the game, also you can learn, because top level players change the style and the way to play during the match. So you start to think that he can do something, and then he change, and you have to adapt your way to play on that situation. So you have learn, and in every situation. It means that every minute, every 2 minutes, you learn something. Learn also is really important, because you learn without the ball. During a match, players have the ball 2.5, 3 minutes maximum during a match. 3 minutes maybe is a lot, So all the things that you have to learn is without the ball, especially for a defender that do not touch so many times the ball. It depends, because now in football it's changed. Sometimes the goalkeeper is the players that touch more balls than all the other players. But you have to understand and think that most of the time you don't have the ball, and you have to think without the ball. That's why it's so difficult to defend sometimes, because you have 1 or 2 times when you have to defend really well, and you have to stay concentrated and focus on that moment. So that's why you have to teach them during the training session to pay attention in every single situation. That's why it's so important for them. There is no situation where you can play and play easy. Also, when you have the exercise, but when you play the match at the end of the training session, usually you play the match in half, and they have to pay attention, learn from there, because that's the only moment when you can learn without problems. Because if you make a mistakes, there is no problem. You can learn, do it. You're not losing a game during the match. The attitude and your feelings, how you feel, is completely different, because you can't miss anything. So it's really important to learn during the training session and prepare yourself, stay concentrated, and as a coach, give them the most important things is to give them the exercise where they can learn through, the moment, the situation, the position on the pitch, and you have to not always try to correct them, but give them the chance to make mistakes and to learn from their mistakes. Players that want to achieve and arrive at a higher level, they have to learn. I remember that during the training session, when I made the mistakes, my teammates, it was the opponent in that moment, score a goal, I try to understand and think on myself what I can do better. And this is the point. When you face top level player, you have to think in that way. What you can do next time to stop him. And you have the option A, B, C, and you have always leave a space, a room for something that is unpredictable. When you play against, I used to play against Ronaldo, against Van Basten, against Battistuta, Trezeguet, Del Piero, Totti, Inzaghi, lots of top players that during the match learning, try to do something, and then they change. And you have to adapt, as I say to you yourself, to that moment. Always leave a space to something unpredictable. And when the match finished, try to think, review the match, see the match a lot of time inside your head, see the match on video, and try to understand what you can do better in that moment. That's the only process that I know is the only process that every athlete in every sport do it, because if you want to improve, you have to do that kind of things.
Yeah, you said about analysis of the opponent and knowing the profiles. I think it's very, very important. Also in under 21s, we send to defenders like opposition, like attacking players. And it's not about is he shooting on this angle or that corner he likes to shoot. But it's always, I explain them that it's important to understand the style in general, the striker. Is he more fast? Is he more strong? Is he more dribbling the ball? Is he like shooting one touch? Is he like shooting from everywhere he can? Just understanding his like profile in general, it gives you some cues where you can anticipate something what he can do.
Yes.
And of course, always we never know. Like you said, he will make something different because this is what he has to do. But I think understanding in general his like profile by itself, it's very important. Also in duels, somebody is fighting for a ball. Somebody is faking that he will fight for a ball. Somebody is jumping in a body. Is he aggressive? Not. So you can expect something. And speaking about the profiles, can you imagine like the situation, for example, in the box?
Yes.
That there is crossing situation.
Yes.
You are 1v1 with him.
Yes.
And can you imagine like what is the strategy for defender if you play, for example, against like short and fast striker, or when you play against like big and strong? How?
It's completely different, you know, because when the ball is coming from depends where is the ball? Where is the ball? If under the line of the box, over the line of the box, anyway, it will be, you know, easier for pardon, this situation. Okay, so 1v1, it means that there is something wrong with you. If you are just 1v1, there is inside the box. This one is a key scoring situation, position inside here, you know, and you have to defend. You say this is the line, but the line is starting from here more or less and is going up here. Okay, so the key scoring zone is inside this space. So you have to teach to your player to defend this space. So in a 1v1, usually you have tried is a big disadvantage for the defender, because usually the attacking player have just to take care about the ball. He knows exactly where he wants the ball, and he's going to attack the space. It might be the near post, might be the usually the far post. He attacked the blind side, and but he didn't take care about the defender. He just take his position and try to make him think. Okay, so it will be a fake movement or a double fake movement, and the problem for the defender is that he had to take care about the ball and the man. If you take a look at the ball, you lose your man. If you take just care about your man, you will lose the ball. The ball will not going inside the goal without this man. So it's really important. Try to feel him, stay with him. It will be just a little bit easier at my time because there were no VAR. You know, it's now you can't have too much contact inside the box, but if you can, you have to stay in contact with your opponent. Try to stay in contact. Do not give him the chance to arrive to the ball. But as you said, well, forward and all the players has their nature. It means that Inzaghi used to attack the near post. In 10 times, 8 near post and 2 far post. So 80% he will attack this space. So I know exactly if I'm going to force him to attack the near post because I close him the possibility to go to on the far post because I stay close to him, he's going to attack immediately, and I try to anticipate all the time that movement. So it's really important sometimes as a defender to force the opponent to do what you want and what you expected from him. It's just a little bit an advantage, you know. So you know exactly. Also, you have to know the characteristics of this player, because this player that cross the ball into the box usually have his nature too. Usually he put the ball in the first part, or he used to put the ball on the far post. So knows the characteristics of your opponent is really, really important, and know the characteristics of the other teams. There are teams that cross a lot, and there are teams that from here do not cross but prefer to play the ball. If you play against Manchester City, they do not cross too much the ball inside the box. Also, if they have Holland inside, they prefer to manage the ball and try to go inside. So you know that when they are going here, sometimes they used to play a cutback behind, you know. So it's not important this player that attack this space, but the space that will leave here. So it's a matter of what you think, and it's a matter of your opponent. But usually, if you have time, you have tried to stay with him and do not give him the chance to arrive on that ball. Okay, when I play against Vieri, Bobo Vieri was a very physical player. But on the ball, you're just going to put your body on him and do not give him the chance to attack the goal and try to arrive on the ball very, very easy. Very easy. So it's really important. Sometimes the defender just take a look. If you see now, just take a look of the ball. They didn't take care about the man. So there will be maybe three men. Okay, but they leave this man attack the space in the middle. They do not attack. They are not going to mark him man to man because they are three. Sometimes the worst thing is have to have three players inside the box with one striker. Nobody of these take care about him, and well he can attack the space, and then they look each other and say, who has to take him? This is when you are 1 against 1, too easy.
This is
too easy. When you are 3 against 1, might be dangerous because nobody has to know or nobody take care about that because they say it will be my teammates that would take it. It will be my teammates, and then you receive a goal. That's.
UEFA had the goal researches about the goal, and there is like by statistics that more goal scoring situations, not when number of strikers is the same as defenders.
Yes.
But usually when strikers are -1 or -2.
Yes.
Because like you said, it's like harder because he's running from one defender to another defender, and then the problem comes. But if they are like 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3, but is there a difference between like a smaller striker and a bigger striker?
Yes.
Because in my experience, sometimes I see that big strikers, they like contact more because they can win you because they are more heavy, bigger, and
because usually very strong players that play as a forward, they prefer to play with their back to the goal because they have to defend the ball and give the chance to the teammates, the team to come up, and then they play. Holland used to play there. Also, Holland has different characteristics because he used to play like that, but he loves to attack the space. If I have to think in Mbappé and Højlund, Mbappé prefer to attack the space. He doesn't like because he was a wing first, and then he became a striker. And he preferred to play not with his back to the goal because when you play with your back to the goal, you receive a lot of kick on your ankle. You have to stay strong from the contact with the contacts. Højlund did that job in a fantastic way. Now I can see it in Italy, or Romelu Lukaku. I think just the two players that play in Italy that are doing really, really well. But if I have to think also to Kane of England, the same, play as a center forward, very physicality, but also good in technique. Kane, if we have to think one of the best forward now in the world, panorama, can do that kind of things really well. He can play in this position and he can play also in this position at the same time. And this is really important. We can have now they change a little bit because a few years ago we had the falso 9. Do you remember? Falso 9, it means the false number 9. It means players that don't have that characteristics but play there just to move around and try to give something to thinking about to the defender. And they used to play in the middle zone, in between the lines, and do not give them the possibility to the defender to defend on them. Usually they are very difficult to chase, to mark because they're moving a lot and they have different characteristics from the center defender. They usually are really high, not so fast, not so quick, and so they can have a problem with that kind of players, especially. But inside the box, you as a defender, especially when you are really strong in the air and you have played to against that players, you have to take care about their movement. So not at the ball in the air, but the movement, with the ball on the ground, because they are really fast. Sometimes they anticipate you. They can arrive. Usually they prefer to go on the near post because they prefer to anticipate you in the near post, because on the far post, sometimes if the ball is high in the air, it's easier for the defender to defend on them. But it's that's why I prefer the very strong forward, because it will be easier to mark. You don't have, especially when you play really high in this zone, you don't have to take care about the deep behind you, because you know that they were not really fast, so you can give them that space.
But with Haaland, it's
more with
difficult.
Haaland, with Haaland,
he's a big and he's a fast. Yes, he's both.
I think he's one of unique players that with that
unique,
characteristic is unique, because he's very fast, he's very strong, as I say to you, he's tall, but he's also quick and fast when he attacks the space. Yes, technical, maybe not so good technical, but and he's really fast anyway.
Zlatan style, he's similar to Haaland.
I think that Haaland is faster than Zlatan. Zlatan was good, but not so good when he attacked the space. He was really better in techniques, but not so good when he attacked the space.
But is there, for example, young defender, and he's learning the skills. Is there like a difference how you play man-to-man in the box with the big striker? Are you like straight away holding him?
No. As I said to you, you don't have to give them the possibility to arrive on the ball. So the space can't be too far. You have to stay very close to him, but not too soon. It means that if the ball is here, okay, and you have to go in contact. You can't go in contact too early with your opponent, because if not, he take an advantage. He will use you.
Just the opponent, or if he's tall, then later. If he's small, you can go earlier in the contact.
Yes, there is a big difference, because
what is the difference
you don't have to give the chance to the player is very big to lean on you, move you, and attack the space. That's what used to do the very important striker with a good body physicality. They come to you, they use you, they move you, and they will attack the space.
And then they move you away. So you have to hold like a little bit of distance from the big ones.
Do not give them the chance to come too close to you too early.
Because they're looking for a contact.
Yes, always.
And the shorter ones, Inzaghi was, let's say, he was
he was
shorter,
not so big.
But he was fast. How against that kind of style, who is shorter and maybe not so heavy?
Shorter, because shorter is the same things more or less. It means that the shorter, if you are going too close to him too early, they will move faster away from you. As I say to you now, the things are really changed because of the VAR. You can't go in contact. You can't take the shirt. You can't stay. When I used to play, sometimes you can take the shirt.
No.
Now you can't do that. You can't do that. So it's a big advantage for the striker when they play against you.
Because I remember in the past there was like, I don't say methodology, but the principles. Hold with the hand where is not assistant referee.
Yes.
Because assistant on that side, in this you hold very close so nobody see, and now it changed.
Now you can't. I know.
It become more difficult for defenders.
Yes, a lot.
It's from defensive style, and also they have to be more offensive also nowadays.
Yes, that's the point. It's something that changed a lot the way to play football and the way to think. But certain principles remain the same. How to defend. Inside the box, outside the box, when it depends where is the ball on the pitch. When you have to try to anticipate, to predict something and understand where the ball is going, and especially now that's a lot of players, not just the attacking player, but also the midfield players and the defender players. When you play with two wing backs that attack the space, you have to understand exactly what they are going to do. So that's why really important.
And also, can you imagine also the situation that for example, you are high and it's 1v1.
Yes.
Okay, and it's fast attack.
Yes.
And you stay 1v1 against the striker on, I don't know, 25, 30 meters.
Yes.
What is the principle of the defender? How to react?
To take time. Because in football, the most important things for a defender is to take time to give the chance to your teammates to recover their position. Okay, so you have to force your opponent to do what you want. Try to force him on a side, maybe. But the principle remain the same, Because, sorry, I just moved. If you are high here, and you start 1v1, you have now to drop back to your goal. Remain the point. The principle is man, ball, and goal. You have to stay inside, always inside. It means that you have to force him on this situation just to take time. Take time, it means 1 or 2 seconds that give the chance to your teammates to recover their position. Okay, it's really, really unusual in football to stay 1v1 with all this space. It means that there is something wrong, really wrong. Okay, but if if you start, and at least I hope you have just one teammate that stay with you, so it means that it's a preventive marking situation. You know, you have to play. He's going, and I cover. I cover him. I'm not going to mark this player. I don't have to mark this player, because if not, I leave him 1v1, and also I leave a lot of space in the middle to attack or to attack. So this is the point that you have to teach to your players. You know, don't leave him. Don't leave him. Whatever he's doing. Then if he will come, yes, you have to take care about this situation, and he has to press him. Do not give him time and space to play that ball. So he has to force to play just in this channel. Do not give him the chance to play to this player. So it's really important. They have to understand in that moment which is the can be the worst situation and the better situation for them. So this is really important. As I say to you, you teach them these kind of things, because through the exercise that you are doing during the week, and also because when you see that they do something wrong, you can correct them through the video, and you say, in this situation you have to do these kind of things. But you can't tell to your players to say them, you must do this, okay? Because it's really important to understand that defenders are really different in characteristics. It means the principle remain the same. Player, ball, goal, I have to stay between them, okay? But also when I have to defend and I am behind him, and there is the ball that I missed the ball. Oh, no, here we are. Yes, and the ball has to come. I have to understand how to defend on him. So it means that I can stay closer, I can stay here, I can stay here, I can stand in front. It depends on what? On my characteristics. Because I used to play at higher level, but there were the principle remained the same. Man, ball, opponent, and goal. Yes, but my style of marking, it was completely different than Maldini, than Cannavaro, than Nesta, than Ferrara, than whatever, you know, Baresi, Costa Curta, I don't know. Every one of us just adjust the position in a different way. Read the same situation, but decided to mark in a different way. So it is when you have to defend in a 1v1. It depends from your characteristic also. You know, you are fast or you are not. You are tall. It depends. You are right or you are left. So it depends a lot of things. So you can't say to your players, you must do this. No, you have to give them the instruments, and then they can use the instruments into the pitch. And you will see if they're using it well or not. This is the point. Because if not, you give them just the possibility. You tell them to do a thing. You say to them, you must do this. They always do that, but sometimes it works, sometimes not. So they have to adjust the position. They have to adjust in base. If you take care, they take care about the situation. They have just to adjust to see which is the best thing to do in that moment. So that's why, as a coach, you have to teach them. You have to give them, the instruments, and as much as you give them the instrument, they decide which kind of use or instrument use in that moment, in that situation. That's really important for me.
Yeah, for me, always, like I said, about preparing, I don't know, for opponent, it's always important to know in general the style of the striker, how you say also this 1v1, like covering also depends on him, because you know like his profile. And then, of course, very, very important is knowing your profile. Who are you? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And as defender, don't play on his strengths and your weaknesses. Just don't get in that situation, you know. And it's always important, how you said, put him in maybe on his weaknesses and my strengths as defender. You know, this, how you said, it's combination, I think, of both.
Yes.
Profile striker, your profile. And what you said is delay. Yes, delaying.
Yes, as much as you can.
Delay.
As much as you can.
And this is what I always like see is... for me, it always seems like this is like a show. Are you, as a defender, are you already matured or not? Because for defenders, they always want like as fast as they can, always kill the player, take the ball. And it always show me these kind of situations where I see, can he be patient or not? And if he is, then I say, okay, you are a little bit matured as a defender.
That's
well, is it like this or not? Like for young defenders that they want faster to do everything?
Yes. Is the new young generation? They want to have or to do something immediately, and they have to think just a little bit more. Sometimes when you are on the pitch, because it's easy when we speak each other here around the table, but when you are on the pitch, you have to take a decision like that, So it's really important. Take a decision. It means that you thinking about, you see where are your teammates, the opponent, where the ball is going, and which will be the best solution. Usually you need to have plan A, plan B, plan C, and leave the space, as I say to you, for another room, And you have to do it in a while. So that's why it's so important to teach them how to think very fast, especially during the training session, the exercise that you give them. And they have to think that nothing is come easy. And when you are in a very bad situation, you have to try to take the best solution in that moment that give you the time and the possibility to force the opponent to do what you want. So lots of times I leave the space to the opponent to play that ball because I know exactly what I have to do after. That's really important. Give them the chance to play that ball because you know exactly what you are going to do after. So it's really important for a defender thinking that way, because if not, you are always in trouble, always, because the attacking players used to attack your blind side, used to move a lot, and if you have to take care of them and of the ball, sometimes it's very stressful during a match.
Yeah, and also I think. Always tell them also that playing predictable is important for you, of course, but also it's very important for other defensive line or defending players, because like it's very important that other defending players, they know what you're gonna do, that you don't surprise them, because they adapt their positioning and movements and thinking and anticipation also based on you. So
yes.
You also as a defender has to be predictable.
Yes, you say well, but communication is the first part. So the man that is farthest further from the ball is the one that has to communicate, because when you are very far from the ball, you can see all the pitches, you can see where the ball is going, you can command and tell exactly to your teammates what they have to do. So this is really important, communication, speak each other. I know that is really hard and difficult, because when you have to speak and also play football, you can, not be so concentrated or lose your concentration. That's why you have to teach them as a coach on the pitch to communicate each other, to speak, to see. When I used to be a central defender, I used to see and know everything, where were my teammates, where were the opponents. I count all the time, all the players that I have in front of me, so I knew exactly how many players that were on my side. That's the really important things to do in every single moment of the match. That's why sometimes you lose your concentration, because you have to stay focused for 1 hour and maybe more than 90 minutes, maybe 100 minutes. Always stay concentrated and focus. Where is the ball? Where is my teammates? Where are the opponent? Who is playing in that side? Who is going, the movement, where is the ball? He's going to attack the space, he's going to attack the deep, he's going in front. And you have to do it every single moment, every single second. There are no moments where you can relax after a match. That's why you finish and you are so tired, not just physically, but also mentally tired, especially when you play as a defender. You have to always think, always move. The most important things you have to understand, there must be, this is a very important rule. Distances between the units, okay? This is the distances between the units. So you have to, this distance between the units, and distances between the men of the same units. On the same, call that line or whatever you want, but the distances are so important. If the distances are too far, okay, you can't cover the space. If the ball is on this side, this man can't stay here. We have to drop here. Don't take care about this space. This corridor are put because you have to stay inside the corridor. Usually you use 1, 2, 3, and the other 2 you leave if the ball is in this side. When you are in the middle, usually you stay inside three corridors and you leave the flanks. it depends, because sometimes you have just to adapt. The idea is to give them, as I said to you, the instrument. So we have to play like this, stay close, narrow, do not give the chance to the opponent to play in the middle, and then we will move with the team. So it's really important that the players understand exactly what they have to do and how do they have to move into the pitch. That's why it's really important. So you have to, but it's a process. It's a process. You as a coach have to teach them, tell them, ask them what you want from them. It depends from your philosophy, your styles. If you prefer to be aggressive, you prefer to wait a little bit. If you play with a system, with another system, it doesn't matter. Now football is usually 1v1. Okay, until this more or less this line. Okay, so if I attack there from here to there, I always play 1v1. Do not give the chance to the opponent to with time and space to play the ball. But also I have to take care about all the spaces that I have behind me, because a lot of time you have 1v1 with a player here because he attacked the space, and there is 1v1. So you have to teach your player to play 1v1. So you have to do exercise 1v1 during the season, during the week, to teach them and to give them the instrument, the possibility to learn from the situation. So that's why it's really important. And all these kind of things is coming from the young players. So the young players have to understand that football is sacrifice. You have to attack, yes, but you have also to defend. So that's really important. The attitude, the mentality, the way of think football football is something. No, it's not just football. Sports at the high level is sacrifice, is obstacles, is grind, is something that you is obsession, is something that you want to do every single day, and you want to improve yourself every single moment during the training session, during the match. This is it. There is no other way, there is no shortcuts. This is if you want to do something at the highest level, this is the way.
I think about the defending, we have to make more and more, because like we can speak a lot about compactum and all these things. I just love defending a lot. Some questions will be, which was the best feeling for you as defender? What is the best feeling for defender? When you had like top?
When you prepare the match in the right way, you have you feel good physically, because if you are not good physically, it can be a problem. For attacking players, maybe sometimes I saw a lot of players that are playing attacking not so good physically, but they don't have to accept all the time the challenge. As a defender, you can't be, you can't prepare the match in a wrong way. You have to be 100% always, because always you have to, is a contact. From outside you can't see, but there is always a contact. Always the opponent and especially the attacking player will come to you and always touch you in a different way, Did
you had some like, because I think also from defenders it's very important psychological impact on the striker. Okay, did you use something how you like
talk trash? Yes.
No, I don't know. Like no, it's not always like talking. I just mean that I think that sometimes you have to be just all the time. You have to be near somewhere, something like giving a contact that he don't like.
Always. So try to intimidate him.
Something, because for example,
try to intimidate in a fair way, not in a wrong way. Yes.
Because we played also against like Germany under 21s, and you see that those defenders like. All the time trying to be next to the striker, push him, touching him, trying to get on the feelings.
You always have to go in contact with him. Always. He has to feel that you are there. Physically, you are there. Always touch him, always push him, always try to go in a correct way, as I say to you. But very tough. No. You must be very tough. Defender usually must be nasty boy. So that's the point, and... you have to feel them that you are there, that you're always in contact with him. You chase him. You do not give him the chance and the possibility to touch the ball without you are there. That's the point. So that kind of things usually create some kind of problems on the attacking players.
From the game perspective situation, for a striker, the best feeling is to score the goal.
Yes.
What's for defender the best feeling for you?
Save a goal, save a possibility action from the opponent. Usually is that kind of things.
From the line in 90 plus minute?
Yes, it's happened sometimes, and yes, from the line if it happened, but sometimes predict where the opponent, the
what
forward is going.
What was your best feeling from your memory, like?
I remember that I saved a goal in the derby against Boban, that he dribbled Pagliuca here and he shot on goal easily. Say goal, he was with his hand up and I arrived on the line just stop him. It was fantastic, super because you try to predict. You didn't give up. You're right there and you save the goal on the line. That's really important. That's fantastic it's like a goal, for a defender. And also I scored a goal on the derby. Yes, it was good.
And which striker type is which you don't like the most, which is unsuitable for you, or which you as a defender, you understand what I mean?
Yeah, Ronaldo was very, because it was the best player, one of the best attacking player ever, but also Van Basten was fantastic, super. And
what is what you didn't like in
Batistuta,
them?
Batistuta. It means that they always attack the space. They are always concentrate. You can't lose your mind. You can't lose the concentration for 1 second. Because they always attack the space. You don't know if they attack the space. They will go in front. They attack you. They dribble you. A lot of things that you have to think in that moment, and it takes. It was very demanding on the pitch, but usually, players that had the characteristic like Ronaldo, that don't like to play the ball and high in the air, because it was very good in the air, but prefer to play the ball on the ground. And you never know, because before they're receiving the ball, they do 3-4 fake movements, all the time, not just 1, 3, 4, and you have just to turn your head, try to understand when they attack the space behind you, in front of you, and a lot of these kind of things. Is normal for a defender, Usually is that kind of things that will make you improve a lot in a situation like that.
And Ronaldo, he was technical, he was fast, he was also physical.
It's impossible to explain how he was, because he was technical, physical, fast. He was also a very bad guy on the pitch. He was, he used to have a lot of contacts. He don't mind about that. He didn't mind about that, really, really, really. But anyway, we are talking about one of the best players in the history of football. So there is no words that I can say to explain him better that you can see in a video. But for sure, on the pitch, it was unbelievable, really unbelievable. And also in that moment in Italy, they were best player in the world, because there were Batistuta, there were Trezeguet, there were, as I said to you, Totti, there were Del Piero, Zinedine Zidane, and Abel Balbo, whatever. If I think in every team that we had in Italy in that moment, they were the best player. So every time you go into play a match on Sunday, you know that there were very good players on the other side.
We are coming to the end. This part, I hope you have more parts about the defending. But last, maybe jumping a little bit back about this analysis. When you, I don't know now, as a coach also, yes. But when you analyze next opponent or striker, what is the first 3 things, or what is the first what you are looking for in him to prepare the best? What you are looking for on what?
If he repeats a lot of time the same movement, usually, as I said to you, the nature of the player do not change. So if a player used to come to receive the ball on the right side, it means that most of the time he will receive the ball on the right side, and you have to prepare your defense and your defending player to understand that if the ball move, he usually prefer to go on that side. So that's really important. That when I see a match, and I speak with Paolo sometimes when we have to prepare a match, we are usually see if the opponent do the same movement on that side of the pitch, or if they usually prefer to switch the play on the other side. It depends. So to my defender, I usually say he preferred to receive the ball in front, or he preferred to receive the ball when he move and he attacked the space. As I said to you, it depends from the characteristics of the player. But the problem that is not the problem, but the situation that we have to face here in Latvia is sometimes a lot of time, most of the time, you face opponent that play very high level. So you can't predict, and you have to give them the instrument to stay on the pitch. And at the same time, I used to say them, I prefer that the attacking player receive the ball in front of you than behind you, because when you attack the space behind you, it can be very, very, very dangerous situation in a 1v1 when they arrive here, or at least here, and they can attack you in a 1v1. It can be a very big trouble. So we have tried to stop him, as I say to you, to force the opponent to play as we want. Sometimes you can, sometimes of course you can't, because the opponent, you have to take care also about the big quality of the opponent. And when you play against England, you can't force them to what you want, but most of the time it's them that they force you what they want. This is the point. But we are doing well, and I think that our players are improving a lot. This is the most important things, and I hope that we give them some instruments and we can use it, because next match will come a very, very, very tough game for us, and I'm sure that we are prepared to that.
Yes, thank you. Best of luck there.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for coming here, sharing your knowledge, the defender skills, and I really believe that young defenders already who play, and also the coaches take these details and put in the work.
Yes, of course. Good luck to everybody that have to teach to the player, and thank you very much to host me, because it's always a pleasure. As I say a lot of time, it's a privilege to play as a professional football player, and if I can share, it's fantastic for me. It's a privilege also to stay here with you. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Skatītāji, klausītāji, ticu, ka ir noderīgi šīs detaļas, jā, ko mēs ņemam, un mēs trenējam vienmēr gan aizsardzību, gan uzbrukumu vienlaicīgi, jo viens bez otru vienkārši nevar arī pastāvēt. Jā, un šīs tās niansītes, kuras mēs varam ņemt, gan arī jūs kā spēlētāji, gan arī kā treneri, tās ir nianses, kuras mēs varam likt mūsu spēlētājiem iekšā, lai mēs varētu izaudzināt pēc iespējas kvalitīvāks un prasmīgāks spēlētājs, jo prasmīgs spēlētājs ir izlases kodols. Lai jums izdodas un tiekamies futbola laukumos. Paldies!